Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's highs and lows in wrestling of the week. And I already said the week part, but welcome to this week's highs and lows. Today is Sunday, September 12th, 2021. My name is Mimi Burris, and guys, we're talking about it. We're talking about All Out that happened this Sunday. We're talking about the rest of the week in wrestling that didn't matter nearly as much because that pay-per-view was awesome. And we're going to get into all of it right after this.
Hardy with a powerful right hand knocking Sammy Guevara through the stage.
I want a divorce.
Oh! Dog food! He's covered in dog food!
Very elevated up and over the top of the assistant.
Oh! Bailey, no! Get down!
You're kidding me!
You ruined my life! I told you I was gonna ruin yours!
I feed a whole family with this title.
Alrighty, everybody, before we get into this week in wrestling, a couple of housekeeping things I want to take care of first. First and foremost, if you have not already, go check out the Dynamite review show I did with, yes, special guest host, NXT reviewer, Zach Smith. Always love having Zach on the show. That's not true, because that was the first time I had Zach on the show. But I loved having him on the show. Definitely would love to have him back. And maybe, if we can figure out our schedules this week, just life being busy. I don't know why I'm saying words so much, but I am, over and over. Maybe if we can figure out our schedules this week, I'm going to try to hop on the NXT review because, guys, this was the last week of taped NXT episodes. This week, the colorful splatter. This is when Vince McMahon and company get involved. I don't think NXT is going to be I don't think it's going to be this whole different thing. I honestly think the change will probably be a little bit more gradual than we think. But I don't know. I'm like I said on the show of the Dynamite review show, I said I am more curious. I have a lot of morbid curiosity around it, and that's really why I'm looking forward to NXT this Tuesday. I'm not, looking forward to like a good show, but that is not my fault. That has just been what has been shown to me. And speaking of not a good show, let's just get right into this week and start on Monday night, which was Monday Night Raw. I don't know how anybody else is doing this anymore, because my attention span is just being... I can't do it anymore, guys. I say it every week when I get on the show. Why am I still watching this crap? But, nonetheless, this week's show was not the worst Monday Night Raw of 2021. It wasn't good by any means, but it was not the worst show with the gauntlet, a lot of wrestling. And then they think, these little cheeky SOBs, man, just to make sure we can get 3 hours of content, right? They have it so the gauntlet is postponed, right? That's not a gauntlet match, but the gauntlet is postponed because of the beatdown from Mace and T-Bar, formerly Retribution. I can't invest in anything in WWE. I can't invest in, because the finishes don't matter. Even if it is a clean finish and someone wins and someone loses, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. And I'm going to point you right on over. We're going to jump a few shows and talk about Friday Night SmackDown here. That tag team match, the main event, right? The finishes don't... Why am I going to get invested in this? Don't get me wrong. 4 guys, unbelievably talented. Street Profits, Montez Ford especially, but Angelo Dawkins is no slouch himself. And the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams in WWE. Great match. Wrestle a great tag team match. Back and forth. Honestly, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this isn't going to go to an end. This is not over, essentially. And right, what do you get? You get Roman Reigns coming in and breaking it up. Every show has at least 2 to 3 false finishes. Every show. And that's being generous. That is being generous. I'm pretty sure there was a SmackDown a couple weeks ago that literally had one match that ended in a clean finish, if you want to call it, but I think it was a roll-up. So it's getting overused, and honestly, guys, I'm not. I try to give non-bias over here, whether you believe it or not. I really am not. I don't have this vendetta against WWE, though I probably should, considering the people running it. But no, I don't. It's crap. It's crap in front of me every single week, and I can't get invested because there's no finishes, and the finishes, even if there are them, they don't matter. So I think AEW, guys, is kind of maybe pushing it with the false finishes too. And, if I didn't watch WWE, any WWE product, first of all, wouldn't that be a blessing? But second of all, maybe I wouldn't be so bothered by it, but it's maybe because I watch it all week anyways, and I'm just like, oh, another false finish. But that might not be Dynamite's fault or just AEW's fault in general. However, let's just get into your highs and lows of the week, guys. Let me just first quickly say, before we get into all of it, yes, All Out was incredible. Greatest AEW pay-per-view of all time. Definitely for me in top 10 of greatest pay-per-views of all time. When I gave it time to settle, recency bias aside, I think absolutely at least top 10. And otherwise, a pretty mundane week in wrestling. I didn't care much about the Roman Reigns stuff on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar looks awesome, by the way. Let me just say that. I love the little man bun, little scruffy beard. There's nothing like a blonde beard like that to just... That's a hard pull off, and Brock pulls it off. But again, it's good to hear Brock's voice. I can't remember the last time I heard Brock's voice, so that's nice. But maybe the Royal Rumble 2020, before the world went to crap. Alright, anyways, I lost track of myself there for a minute. Alright, let's just get into your official low for the week, guys, and then we'll run down a couple other things, because I do have a lot of positive stuff to say about some of this week in wrestling for sure. There was some great, just pure professional wrestling. However, your low for the week goes to Monday Night Raw, Karrion Kross versus John Morrison. And why, you might ask? It wasn't a particularly bad match. Karrion Kross has had way worse matches. John Morrison is pretty incredible, and especially the way he sold for him. John Morrison was supposed to have a feud with The Miz. I don't know where The Miz has been, but that was kind of the plan, I guess. And to build him up, they just have him lose in 2 squash matches 2 weeks in a row. Not to mention, I don't know if we've talked about on the show, what the f*** is Karrion Kross wearing, guys? Oh my gosh, this company is... the only joy I get out of these shows is the morbid entertainment of things like this. It's so bad. So bad, guys. And Karrion Kross gets 0 reaction. Bad nor good. Just 0 reaction. So, that's all I'm going to say about that. Really, it was slim pickings for low of the week, because most stuff was just generic or boring. And there was a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of good stuff. More objectionally good. Not necessarily like I subjectively enjoyed it. For example, guys, SmackDown is not for me. I do not enjoy watching SmackDown 99% of the time. The Becky Lynch stuff, it feels bad and poorly scripted, and yes, I know everybody is on the Roman Reigns train, and I think his performances have been great, but where does the story go? I don't know. I guess I expect more from professional wrestling today, or I require more to be entertained, and it just doesn't... If you enjoy it, power to you. I always say that, and you know what? It's not even like a patronizing thing at all. It's not like some people, I swear, and there are some people out there in the IWC, right, that are just like, I like this product, I don't like this product, so I'm better than you, which is really ridiculous. Really ridiculous. I'm not claiming that at all. I can't stand it. I did really enjoy on Raw watching the New Day in the Tag Team Gauntlet until they just decided to make it not a gauntlet anymore. If we move on over to NXT, I did, like I said, I love that women's match between Ember Moon and Kaylee Ray. Yeah, a little bit... it was a good match. I'm just going to leave it at that. It was a good match. And then they had the amazing match between Santos Escobar and Carmelo Hayes. Again, a little bit of a false finish there, but what can we say? Then we had the Creed brothers, who just look absolutely incredible. Big dudes, probably... If they weren't a tag team, they'd probably be getting a big push in the WWE's eyes. I thought that NXT Women's Tag Team title match was what every NXT Tag Team Women's titles match with, or every Women's Tag Team match has ever been with Catanzaro and Carter. But it was still fun to watch. I was still entertained by professional wrestling on NXT. Mei Ying, guys, made her in-ring debut. And I still made Karrion Kross the low of the week. Let that sink in. And MSK, guys, MSK are one of those rare breeds that just, like, exude star power. That's not even the right word. They're just good and fun and nice, and they, like, similar to how I feel about Damian Priest lately. Like, yes, crap scripting. He's getting awful scripts to read and all this other stuff, terrible content, but you still like him anyways. And I feel the same way about MSK. They're just, they're the exception. That's what I'm looking for in NXT and in WWE in general. MSK is just, they pop off my screen literally and figuratively. So, and I mentioned some stuff on SmackDown. I think Bianca Belair is doing the best performance that she's had so far, at least on the microphone. It's been really good to see her get comfortable. Seth Rollins and Edge had a great match. Then there was that tag team match I talked about at the beginning of the show that you can't invest in. What do you know? And we got to see Brock, big man Brock with his little fuzzy beard. So However, you all saw this coming from a mile away. You knew it. If you follow me on the Twitter, you especially know it. Your official high for the week, guys, goes to none other than Rey Fénix, Penta Zermiedo, Lucha Bros versus Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, the Young Bucks, in a steel cage at All Out, because holy that match was incredible. Rey Fénix isn't human, guys, and I've ranted and raved about this on the All Out review show, which you haven't listened to, you can go listen to. I had the one and only Becky Lynch step aside. I had the Ashley Mann on for the All Out review show. We talked in boatloads about all of this stuff, of course, and then obviously with Zach Smith, I talked about it a little bit as well. You're talking a pay-per-view where you had the debut of Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon is back, guys, and an All Elite Wrestling, and you had Adam Cole, baby, and an entire stadium of people doing it along with him. You had Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. You had a bunch of Eddie Kingston versus Miro. I mean, you had freaking Minoru Suzuki come out on that pay-per-view. All these names. Do not forget about the Butcher on the pre-show, guys. The buy-in, excuse me. And this still, for me, tops all of it. This was one of my favorite matches of all time. I will go back and watch this plenty of times. The thumbtacks on the boot. I'm so glad that's the only thing they even touched in regards to any kind of interference from the outside of the match. The spinning off the cages and the mask being ripped and the blood. Oh my gosh, guys. Again, for some reason, if you're living under a rock, if you're hanging out with Patrick Starr, get the hell out of that rock and make sure you go watch this match, because oh my gosh. Penta coming in to save the older brother, saving the younger brother from a super kick with the tacks. Taking the bullet for his brother. I got chills 15 times during that match. I got chills after that match. Watching Penta with his little kids. Watching Rey Fénix do a crossbody off the top. I did not think the Lucha Bros were going to win. Yes, I predicted it, but I predicted it fully out of hope and just the goodness of my heart for the Lucha Bros. And they did it, guys. They put the tag team titles on the Lucha Bros. I would love to see them hopefully this week on Dynamite. I hope this helps continue to build that tag team division, which is already built, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot of specific focus on tag teams going off the title after the titles as well, because I really do feel like the Young Bucks kind of, I don't want to say held it hostage, because they had incredible matches, don't get me wrong. Look just to All Out on Sunday. I don't want to also leave out the Young Bucks performance too, specifically Nick Jackson and also Matt Jackson. Just, what a prick, man. The facials. If I could swear more and I didn't have to do more editing, if I kept swearing, I would call Matt Jackson a whole bunch of words. Because he's so good at it. He is so good at just being awful. So, but I'm glad the titles are off and out of the Elite. I hope Kenny Omega loses that title to Hangman Page at Full Gear, if that's where we're going. And I want to see the Elite kind of get out of the title picture. Really, I want to see all the gold in the Pinnacle, but we're way out booking there. But yeah, so if you guys did not go see this match, go watch it. High of my week, high of my life, high of my year, all that stuff. High of the century. Rey Fénix, Penta versus the Young Bucks. And with all that being said, guys, I know, again, we've been doing the shorter shows this week. We're packing it up. I got a special hopeful interview show coming to you guys next week. Let's see if it all works out. But we don't do a lot of interviews here. We'd like to do more. But nonetheless, hopefully that comes out this week. So be on the lookout for that. And I am hopefully going to hop on an NXT review show. Fingers crossed we can make it work. And then we got the Dynamite review show. We got the Weekend review. We got the Raw review, the SmackDown review, the NXT. I mentioned the NXT review. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. Wrestling nostalgia. If you're subscribed on Patreon, $1 a month, guys. $1 a month. Totally ad-free. Go check it out. Anyways, yes, $1 a month, $2.99 on iTunes if you want to get all this stuff ad-free as well, and all the exclusive content, mailbag, a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So make sure you continue. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed so you get all the latest updates. And with all that, guys, your random match recommendation of the week is... You guessed it, we're going again. Your random match recommendation of the week is this all-out pay-per-view, Rey Fénix and Penta Zermiedo versus the Young Bucks in a steel cage, because, yep, that's how good it was. Okay, all jokes aside, it really is your random match recommendation for the week. But if you want another one, you can go check out both these tag teams at Revolution 2021, 2020, 2021. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. It's a ladder match. Go check it out. I'm sure it's online. That's where I watched it. So, with all that being said, guys, have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you next time.